title of the lab is What Causes the Water to Rise in the Glass. Lydia, Sarvidi, and Chris.
The question we are investigating today is what would happen in this beaker if water is surrounded and there's a candle lit inside.
Materials we're going to use for this lab are clay, birthday candle, lighter, jar, and a beaker. Stick small ball of clay on the bottom of the candle. Press the ball of clay with attached candle into the center of the dish. The candle should be standing straight up in the center of the dish. Fill the glass beaker half full with water and pour the water into the shallow dish. Okay. Using the lighter matches light the candle.
We're going to try it again. Watch closely this time.
Once the candle is lit, invert the glass over the candle, setting the mouth of the glass down into the water. Carefully observe what happens.
There's greater volume.
It blew out.
You may have to repeat the procedure several times.
The reason that it blew out was
enter the
because
jar
there was no oxygen.
to distribute the pressure.
We were able to get to the candle. So our hypothesis for the water level increasing in the tiny beaker jar was because the candle was using up all the oxygen and that would create low pressure. And so this fits the model because the water level increases most like just when the candle's about to go out and when it increases the most. And then when you add more candles to the system, the water level increases more because there's lower pressure because all the candles are using up the oxygen quicker. The temperature pressure system creates the extra bit of lower pressure that pushes up the water level every time you have an extra candle. And there's a difference in temperature between when the candle burns and when the candle is extinguished. And the temperature is hotter when it's burning versus when it's extinguished. So that means that when it's hotter, the pressure will also be higher. And so when the candle is burning, there's higher pressure in the beaker, and then when it's extinguished, there's lower pressure. So when because of the sudden drop of the pressure, the water level increases in the small beaker, and so the pressure difference coupled with the oxygen burning increases the water level in the beaker higher than if there was just one candle, like with 2 candles or 3 candles or more. The reason the water rose in the glass beaker was because the candles were using all of the oxygen inside of the beaker, creating a lower air pressure, while outside of the beaker there was a higher air pressure, forcing the water to rise inside of the glass beaker.
Another reason the water level went up in the beaker was a creation of LP by the candles. When the candles were burning, the temperature was hot, but when they extinguished, the temperature suddenly dropped. And since temperature is directly proportional to pressure, there was a sudden pressure drop, so that's why the water level rose the most at the end, because not only was there the LP created by the absence of oxygen, but also the temperature pressure drop created an extra bit of LP.
The reason that the water levels stopped rising in the glass beaker, even though there was still more water available to go in it, was because there was still some air in the glass beaker, and there's not only oxygen in there, there's also nitrogen and carbon dioxide, and so those still occupied the space and they weren't burnt away by the candles. That's why.